5 months ago, Liz showed up at our container cabin here to find that somebody had broken in, busted out the windows, and attempted to set everything on fire inside. So an arsonist, essentially. Since then, we have rebuilt. Wanted to give you guys an update of everything that has come of that case and where we're at today. We'll give everybody a quick layout of what we got going here up at our container cabin. I guess, where are we, Liz?
So we are at the top of our 10-acre homestead up here in North Idaho. Mike and I have been building on this property for about 3 years now. Last year, we had a really great experience with the TV show, and we got this awesome shipping container cabin put up here at the top of our mountain, and we've kind of been building on it and making it nicer ever since.
And about 5 months ago, like I said, Liz showed up here and somebody had kicked the door clean in, broke the whole, jam to the door, kicked the windows out, and set the whole place on fire. That was in February, in the middle of the winter.
Right.
So ever since then, it's kind of been this mystery of, who kicked this door in, why have they not been caught, and just why were they up here in the first place?
Yeah, the whole reasoning behind it. Lots of speculation. It's kind of been a long process since then, but unfortunately not a lot has come from it, and we want to tell you guys kind of all about that, what's happened since February.
Yeah, so February, Liz hiked up here. There was, let's see, the snow was just about melting. I can remember that because it was really muddy, and there was a lot of muddy boot prints all over this container from where whoever it was walking, and they were leaving prints. So I remember it was muddy. The snow was kind of starting to melt.
I remember there was a really big cold snap, and so I typically like to walk up here with the dogs in the mornings, and I hadn't come up in a couple weeks because the weather was just so gnarly. And by the time I did get up here, like you said, it was really muddy. We could tell that this had been sitting for at least a week or so.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't been up here.
So let's preface this with this other information that there was another case of arson within 1.5 miles of this location at almost the exact same timeline, the exact same time frame for when all this went down. And supposedly those people have been caught.
Right.
And I guess let's just talk about everything. Like, the cops have kind of told us, we reported all this to the sheriff's department and they did their thing and everything. And they told us from the beginning that this is going to be a tough one. We don't have a lot of evidence on anybody. Which is true. And yeah, so like the conclusion that has come of everything, it's been 5 months now, and our law enforcement believes that there is no relation between the arson that was only 1.5 miles away at the same time as this one. Law enforcement does not think that there is a connection between the two, which I find a little hard to believe. I don't want to say a whole bunch because I do love, our sheriff's department and our law enforcement. I do realize that, they're probably severely understaffed. They're probably severely underwaged across the whole thing.
Right.
And it's a big county for a small force to keep safe, essentially.
Right.
I just find like their conclusion a little hard to believe. How can this be a cut and dry? And, at this point you say we have no suspects. That's just kind of a little concerning to me. But, from the very beginning, both of the sheriffs that we had out here kind of let us know that, like, hey, this is going to be in your guys' hands. Like, there's times when we're going to be across the whole county. If you call us, if somebody's up there, it's going to take us about an hour to get to your place. If we're on the other side of the county, we only have one guy working. So Liz and I kind of realized from the beginning that it was going to be in our hands.
Kind of on your own a little bit. When you live rurally, I mean, anywhere really, but yeah, like you said, when you live out here, very small police force for a very large county, so it takes them a minute or two to get to where they need to go.
So
a little bit unsettling in that point, but at the same time, it is reassuring to know that, hey, like, if something happens on your property, like, you are responsible for taking care of it.
Idaho has a castle doctrine law. It's a Second Amendment state. So, yeah, as a homeowner, as a landowner, as a property owner, homesteader, you know, we do have rights to protect our property, and the cops reassured us of that, of our rights, and let us all know that. But yeah, the gist of it is basically, you know, at this point, law enforcement has no suspects. Liz and I have since rebuilt. I think we should show you guys around and kind of just give you the whole layout of it, show you what went down and where we're at right now.
Yeah, let's do it. So like we said, 5 months ago, I took a little walk up here and I immediately noticed something was wrong. So let me kind of show you guys. You can see that there's a whole bunch of dents. We haven't gotten around quite yet to replacing this door. There's dents. We had some cinder blocks up here. We think that somebody took the cinder blocks and tried to get in that way. Can't really see them anymore, but there was definitely boot prints. These people were trying to kick the door down and they were successful. They definitely got in. So you come on in here, you can see the door jamb is broken. You know, they broke that clean off. It was locked, obviously. So you come on in, and we've since done a little bit of work, but you guys can see that this fire was ripping. I don't know if you can see that these walls are still really black. All the paint is chipped off. This is where the fire was, right over here. We had this big foam mattress as well as some like nice reclining chairs. We had a pile of lumber in here. And they set all of that on fire. And then in order to keep that fire going, you know, they took more lumber from outside. They took tree stumps. So this fire was going pretty good and it was nasty. Like I said, there was the foam mattress. So you know that that was just like chemicals. And I just imagine it was so gross and like huge. Ripping out the windows, or ripping out the window, big fire. You know, they had a lot of stuff to feed it. The lumber, the chairs, the mattress, you know, tree stumps, branches, all of that. We have since put in a new floor, but there was a big gaping hole full of broken glass, you know, tree stumps outside, lumber that we had up here. So huge hole. I don't know how the window got broke, if somebody threw something through it or maybe the heat blasted it out, but the window was definitely completely shattered. Since then, we have replaced that, luckily. But they definitely did a number on this place. Obviously, we still have more work to do. You know, we need to completely redo the interior and as well as the exterior. The fire got so hot, it just like melted all the paint off. We're around on the outside. This is actually what I noticed very first when I came walking up, was that the paint was gone. I was like, that is really weird. So you can tell how hot that got. The paint had exploded, like it was all over the place when we found it. So you can tell that this fire was definitely ripping. We obviously have to redo the entire exterior, you know, get all this old paint and rust off and then repaint it. So that was a hot fire for sure.
In a lot of cases, we got really lucky. The fire on the floor, you know, after all of this happened, through research, we learned that the flooring in these containers is coated specifically to prevent rot and to prevent fire. So we got so lucky, guys, that the fire was contained to just that one small area. About a 4x8 hole in the floor was all that burned. And we're standing on the deck right now. If that fire had reached this deck, there would be nothing left of it. This is all, you know, good wood. There's cedar on this. It's really dry. So this deck here would have gone up just like a matchstick. So, and the whole fact that the container is all metal, you know, it's really hard to actually burn down a container, especially since we didn't have anything finished inside of it.
Right, yeah. Like you said, we got lucky in a lot of instances. If that had been a regular OSB floor, it would have spread through everything. You know, we got lucky. We didn't have a ton of stuff in there that was like of material value. So we definitely count our blessings for that. You know, we hadn't been up here just yet to really, you know, make this space nice. So they got to it at its like most base form.
Right.
So in that instance, we were also kind of lucky, I think.
And since then, we have taken a lot of precautionary measures to prevent this from happening again. We outfitted our entire property with a very good security system, lots of cameras, lots of cell game cameras. So we know pretty much as soon as anybody steps foot on our property. In our very first video, we presented a challenge to whoever did this to please come back to our property. And obviously that challenge still very much stands, because when you come back this time, you will be identified, you will be taken care of.
Yeah, and at this point, all we really have is speculation in terms of what happened and who did it. It's something that will probably always be on our minds. Like, it's very unsettling, you know, living in a place that you feel safe, knowing that you have people, you know, all around you that are, you know,
lunatics.
not kind, lunatics. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, speculation. You know, a lot of
So
people
much
have said,
speculation.
like, well, it was so cold. What if they broke in to stay warm? And like you can tell, like
We have a lot of.
They were here to cause trouble. You know, this is a shipping container. They very easily could have opened up the bay doors. They didn't have to kick the door down. They were up here to cause trouble.
A lot of lumber was thrown off. A lot
the
of cinder
deck.
blocks were thrown down the mountain. You can tell somebody was up here like just partying. They weren't up here trying to survive.
No, I think my speculation is that it was, you know, young adults, kids that have nothing better to do than to destroy other people's things because they have no respect,
Right.
basically. And
No.
unfortunately, there's a lot of those people that are living among us, you know, everyday hardworking people that just want to live their lives. There's, you know, the other side of those that don't really have any trouble
Just
taking
punks.
that away, like, instantly. So
Yeah. There's also huge speculation, and now with, you know, law enforcement coming to the conclusion that they've come to, every suspect, in our opinion, is on the table. So in the beginning, there was very big speculation that it was another YouTube channel that could have possibly done this. You know, that channel was trying to start drama on YouTube
and it worked
about
for sure.
7-8 months ago. Yeah, it worked.
We had, like, you know, threats. We had a lot of drama, like, come our way after, you know, we were mentioned in that video multiple times. And, you know, it was kind of a little bit ironic after we had said that, you know, we kind of had trouble after they started talking about us. Those videos were taken down right after. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes you wonder, like,
It makes things that make you go,
wonder,
huh?
yeah,
You know, they took their videos down, and yeah, it was something for sure. So if you guys know which channel we're talking about, be sure to you know, get that word out that you know, their whole premise on the video where we were mentioned in, along with another local YouTube channel, it was a bullying video. I would consider arson an act of bullying. So you know, obviously there's speculation that because of their video, somebody could have come up here, somebody with a connection to them. Hell, it even could have been them. You know, people are crazy these days. So like I said, nothing is off the table. I also want to remind you that that challenge is still very much on the table as well. Please come back. Problem will be solved. We just need that person to come back one more time.
There's always the people that are going to say, well, you're YouTubers, you put your life online, like this is almost what you have to expect. And I think that that's complete bull crap. Like,
Yeah.
there's normal people out there, normal, like, everyday viewers, you know, that we love. Like, you guys aren't crazy people.
No.
You know, like, just because we're online, like, you understand the boundary that, like, hey, like,
We still have a private life.
we're just normal people.
You can't trespass on our property, let alone set something on fire.
Yeah, just because we choose to share certain things, that's not an open invitation.
It's not public property.
No, so it's just like a very interesting, like, way that people try to spin it, like, oh, you have your life online, so you should expect things like this to happen. And it's like, there's still bad people out there no matter what. Like, people have bad things happen to them whether they're online or not.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to, is people just have no morals and no values, basically.
Yeah, shame on those people. Like, yeah, it's not because we put our lives online that somebody set this on fire. And if it is, that's going to make it just so much better when this person gets caught. Because they will get caught. You know, small town, it's only a matter of time before somebody starts running their mouth talking about, hey, that container, did you ever see that thing on fire?
Somebody has a video of it.
Somebody has a video of it. I firmly believe that. So that's an update on what we have going on here. Obviously, like I said, we've rebuilt completely. In our last video here, you just saw that we finished this railing around here.
Yeah, it's looking nice.
It's looking really nice. So thank you guys for watching this video. My arm is tired from holding this camera out.
You're doing good.
Thank you very
we
much.
appreciate you guys. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you guys.